Hello guys, I hope you are all will be fine. And we discussed about in previous video module 1. In module 1 we had covered part 1, part 2 and part 3. And this video we are discussing about the module 2 part 1, and inside part 1 section 1, section 2, section 3, and so module 2 is all about career, interview skills, communication, directions. Part 1 is interview skills and knowledge determinations. Section 1, descriptions of the interview skills and perfection. Section 2, self-evaluations measure techniques. Section 3, flowchart of interview knowledge and process. Section 4, explanations of flowchart on skills performance. So first we will discuss about part 1 in the section 1, descriptions of the interview skills and perfection. Let's move to the next slide. Module 2 about is career interview skills, communication directions. Part 1, interview skills and knowledge determinations. Section 1, descriptions of interview skills and perfections. So the description is the interview communication skills are to be improved by the candidate to get success in the interview panel. The most important part of the interview is to communicate properly to the interviewer, to explain the answer shortly and discreetly to satisfy the interviewer. The interviewer will be focusing on the communication skills of the candidate to understand the behavior of the candidate with technical or managerial skills. So basically, it is talking about the candidate skills, experience, technical and managerial skills. So before going to the interview, the candidate should revise or practice their skills, knowledge to remember to answer in the front of interview panel very easily and comfortable level. Once the candidate will not be comfortable while speaking or while giving answer to the interviewer, it will mean that the candidate is not fully prepared to attend the interview, and it may goes negative points to be added that the candidate are not much confident on his delivering answer in the front of interview panel. So we'll move to the next slide. Section 2, self-evaluations measure techniques. So the below point can measure the self-evaluations. There should be revised skills and knowledge. How the candidate can revise in the, he can make the note or he can highlights the points in the subject of the book or any form he is using to read the book. Second point is the way of writing is to check the memory without seeing the topic of his skills or expertise, meaning that the candidate should write the particular topics or particular subject without seeing or listening of the subject. Once the candidate is very comfortable to write any subject freely, then he will be having a memory to deliver the speech very confidently. Point 3. Repeat twice or thrice until the remember the topic covered for the technology or skills. Repeat in the sense of you are repeating the answer or the subject until that you have not remember it, the topic or subject. Point 4. Write on the paper and paste it in the wall to revisit the topics or skills. This is the very good practice, whichever things you want to remember always in your mind. So better practice is you make a highlighted this sentence or some paragraph and paste into in your wall while coming and going, you will be looking that subject or topic and automatically it will be remembered by your memory anytime, anywhere. So even though I am using this practice, whichever I need always to remember. Point number 5, record your expertise skills to remember them by listening to the audio or videos. Audio and video are more memory capture to remember in mind and more and much more effective. So point 5 is very important uh, to remember it any topic or subject, even though using the listening audio or watching the video, you can remember it very fast compared to while you are reading the particular subject of the topic of the matter. So now we'll move to the next slide. Section 3 is showing the flowchart of interview knowledge process. So first is self-evaluations. So how do we candidate can measure himself, how he can evaluate himself, whether I am perfect or not. So using that 4 types. First is observations. Observation mean that you are going to observe yourself, remembering the topic or subject or points of the topic. Analyzing mean that you are reading some book or some uh, topics or subject and you want to analyze it, you want to research on it, you want to know it, how, why, and uh, is uh, defined and what is the behind that any definitions you can do the analyzing using the Google or YouTube. Next is comparison. Comparison always you will your answer will be right, but yes, you will be also comparing the your answer with other views of the candidate or other views of your colleagues or any professions member. Abilities. So abilities also one of the self-evaluation to identify, to check that whether I am able to handle the leadership skills, or whether I am able to handle the product development activity, support activity, any kind of work. Section 4 talks about explanation of flowchart on skill performance. So in the figure, we are seeing the self-evaluation having the four categories like observation, analysis, comparison, and abilities. Each category describe the self-evaluation measurement of the candidate for his ability and talent for their expertise field. So we'll move to the next slide. So we have covered now the module 2, career interview in skills communication directions, part 1, interview skills and knowledge determinations, section 1, descriptions of interview skills and perfections, section 2, self-evaluation, major techniques, section 3, flowchart of interview knowledge process, section 4, explanation of flowchart on skills performance. So now we have covered the model 2 of the part 1 completed. Now we'll move to the part 2 of model 2 in the next video. Thank you.